Hey guys, it's Chris. How you doing? This video is going to be about superstitions and giving items powers and luck and rabbit's foots and horseshoes and all this stuff that people do. I made a list of a few things, and the reason I wanted to do this video is because I'm selling my house right now, and I was at the food store, and some lady overheard me talking about that I was annoyed that I had to sell the house because people were coming in and out. Not because I don't want to sell it, but because people are bothering me and stuff. Because a lot of people have been coming to look at it, like 3 and 4 people a day. And I haven't been able to make as many videos because by the time I set the camera up and take it back down, by the time I decide what I want to talk about and answer other people's questions on the internet, I don't have time to do videos. You guys got to realize the first priority is to answer questions, and until they're all answered, I can't do any videos, at least not right now, until this gets so ridiculous where I don't know what I'm going to do. But aside from that, I made a list because some lady was at the store, overheard me talking about my house, and came up to me and told me to bury a statue in the backyard of St. Joseph, to flip him upside down and put him in the ground facing the house. And I immediately knew that that was witchcraft, and I immediately knew that the woman had no clue what she was doing. For some reason, she also mentioned to me she was Jewish, which I didn't know why she mentioned that, but I was just, I don't know. I just figured God sent this woman to me to do this video, because there's a lot of people out there that don't even know what they're doing, and they're desperate, and when you're desperate, the first one that's willing to receive you is the devil. Because when you go and buy that statue at the store, number one, any of these saints that come in the form of a statue are demon gods. Any of them. And every single statue that has a saint in it, I mean every single statue of a saint has a demon in it. So when you go and purchase that statue, you have now a demon. Now, if you put that statue in your car, you've just let a demon take control of your car. And eventually, that demon will get the best of you if it has control of your car. In one way or another, either the car will break down, it will crash, bad things will happen. Whether they don't happen right away or not, that demon is there if you have that statue in there, and if you don't have Christ, you're in big trouble. Eventually that demon's going to come and cause a problem. Now, if you are to take a statue and bury it in your backyard upside down and face it at your house, you've given it power over your house. When you bury it in the ground on your property, you've now given that demon authority over everything you own. Now, this doesn't mean you won't get your wish and sell your house, people. That demon might go into somebody and make them buy your house. But if you get that wish from that demon has you by the neck. You are in big trouble if you do this stuff. This stuff is witchcraft. When you give an item a power, you have just biblically defied God. You have just given an idol power, a demon power. And you've done witchcraft on your own property, which is idiotic. Instead of people praying for a buyer and petitioning God for a buyer, and in worst case scenario, fast for God if you want to do something supernatural. You really shouldn't fast for something for yourself, but it's better than you buying an idol. It's better than you using a demon god to sell your house, or the power of Satan to sell your house. Because for some people that truly believe that that idol has the power to move their house, that idol might actually move your house if you believe in supernatural things. If you just bury it in there and you don't have too much faith that what you did is going to matter, nothing might happen, but you still demonized your house. This stuff works by your belief. The more you believe in these things, the more it works. It's hard to explain. Either way, you did witchcraft, even if you don't really believe in supernatural things, and you've demonized your home and yourself by doing this, because this is an abomination to God. So that's why I'm making this video, because some lady came up to me and told me to do this. And now you guys know not to do that. That you're doing satanic idolatry and witchcraft. But there's a few other things I wrote down that I've gone over in the past with other people, and that I've noticed a lot of people have no clue what's going on. And the first one on my list in the Superstitions department is the Italian horn, which is believed to give you protection from evil and be good luck. Now, what this horn really means is, this horn really means that you've entrusted the devil with your money, with your finances. That's the occultic meaning behind this horn. I really don't know why it is that way, but I guarantee you that that's what this thing means. You've entrusted Satan with that horn. So, this is going to be a common trend through this whole thing, that things that we are taught are good luck are actually just the opposite. And really, anything that you give a power, any item that's a physical item that you give a spiritual power to, you've touched on other gods and you've tuned into other gods to give it that power. And if anything does give it a power, it's definitely not Jesus Christ or his Father, who told us it's an abomination to worship other gods. It's an abomination to do idolatry. When you put a cross on your neck, that's pretty much an idol, guys. You don't need a cross on your neck to show you have Christ. When Christ said, "Take up your cross and follow me," that means that you're to take up what he did on the cross in your heart. You're to take up his cross in your heart. So, it doesn't mean go buy a cross at the store and wear it. There's no power in the cross itself. The power is in the work that Jesus did on the cross. The power is in the blood of Jesus. So unless you could find some blood of Jesus around, you should not be giving anything a power. The cross has no power, a piece of wood in the form of a cross on your neck. Now, is it the worst thing if you have a cross on your neck and Jesus isn't hanging on it? No. Do I think it's blasphemy to have him hanging on it? Yes. If you believe that that cross represents to you the love you have for Jesus, I think you're all right. Okay? Because he did say take up your cross, and if you believe that means to take up a little wooden cross or a cross on your neck, that's fine. That's not what I believe. But, you know, it shouldn't, in my opinion, it shouldn't be gold or anything nice. It should just be something modest, and it should look something like the cross that he hung on without him on it. I would go with wood if I were to wear a cross, but I wouldn't wear a cross. I have Jesus in my heart. I don't need to put a cross on to show people I have Christ. Now, when you hang this cross on your windshield or your mirror, and you're not a true Christian, like if you're a Roman Catholic and you have a Jesus hanging on a cross on your mirror, you got a demon in the car. You got a demon. No two ways about it. Because number one, Jesus isn't on the cross anymore. Number two, you don't really know Jesus if you're a Roman Catholic. You have no idea who he is. Therefore, you're of Antichrist. Guys, if you're not a born-again Christian, you're of the devil. You can't just claim you're a Christian and not be born again of the Spirit. Until you're born of the Spirit, you're not saved. And until you're saved, you're not of Christ. So I wouldn't be using any items. A lot of you Roman Catholics have a closer relationship with a little man on a cross, a piece of metal, than the true Jesus Christ, which is idolatry. That's idolatry. But anyway, the next one on this list is a horseshoe. If you think a horseshoe is good luck, you've blasphemed God. If you've given that horseshoe any power, you've done it with another God, not Jesus. Jesus does not dwell in temples built by the hands of men. And the power of Jesus only dwells in temples built by his Father, which is human beings. Men and women and children that were created by God to do the work of his Son. Okay, a rabbit's foot. You guys already know the rabbit has occultic roots. That's why they use it in Easter. The rabbit that laid the eggs is a symbol of fertility. The rabbits are very fertile. They reproduce. The rabbit has occultic roots. It has to do with fertility. It has to do with Semiramis. You know, the fact that rabbits reproduce often. You know, that phrase that you hump like a jackrabbit, like that, because they're always mating and reproducing. And that's why it's an occultic symbol. But when you have a rabbit's foot and you give that rabbit's foot a power, you now put a demon in there. When you give an item a power, a demon has authority to enter that item. When you hold that item in your possession or it's in your home, that demon has authority to affect you. That's how it works. Okay? The next one's a black cat. How if you cross a black cat, it's bad luck. Now, I believe that, not only do I believe, I know that demons could go into a black cat. Not only that, but I believe witches and warlocks could enter a black cat and certain other animals. Now, I believe if you see that black cat and you don't have Christ and you believe that you're going to get bad luck, that demon or that witch has authority to give you the bad luck that your intent asked for. Because God gave us intent, and when we use it for stupid things, we get what we ask for. Just like when we use that intent to ask for the Spirit of his Son, we get it. He says, you know, what son asks a father for a fish and the father hands him a serpent? That's trying to say, when you ask for something, you get it, pretty much. And when you ask God for something good, you don't get something bad. But when you ask for something God didn't want, you get something bad. And when you give a black cat an occultic power or some kind of supernatural power, you're going to get the supernatural power, the demon that's dwelling in that cat. And I believe almost all animals, mammals, have a demon in them. Even reptiles and even insects could have demons in them. That I know for sure. I've had demons tell me that. Anyway, so a black cat is only bad luck if you make it bad luck, is what I'm trying to tell you. The other three things I mentioned, the Italian horn, the horseshoe, and the rabbit's foot, if you even possess it, it's bad luck. It's definitely not good luck. I shouldn't even say it's bad luck. It's demons. That's what it is. There's no such thing as luck. There's only God and the devil. Luck is the whole theory of luck is of the devil. It's what fools people into being deceived into gambling, which is of the devil. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk about that I remembered we were doing when we were younger is going in front of a mirror and saying Bloody Mary over and over again in the dark. Now, Anyone who's doing this, it's a young kid, is getting demons. I promise you that. Mary signifies the same Mary that the Roman Catholics worship, Semiramis, the Bloody Mary, the Mother Goddess. It's not Mary from that gave birth to Jesus. If you want to hear about that, go to my video on Roman Catholics. But when you go into a mirror and you conjure this thing up, and you have any kind of fear, or there's fear in the room because it's scary, because you're a young kid and you're in the dark, you will let it get a demon in your body because you're not operating in the power of Christ. I don't really have much more to say about that. That's like playing with a Ouija board, guys. You're going to get a demon without a doubt because you're calling for it. You're specifically, when you use a Ouija board, you specifically call for a demon. When you look in a mirror and call Bloody Mary expecting to get possessed, you're going to get possessed. That's real bad to do that one. Okay, the next one is to use garlic or sage to ward off evil spirits or vampires. Number one, vampires is symbolic for demons. And vampires is symbolic for demonized human beings who drink blood. There's only two entities that drink blood that I know. That's demonized human beings that are satanic and demonic backed, and demons themselves. And just like in the vampire movies where they say you have to invite them in for them to come in, you have to invite a demon in for it to come in. It's all symbolic, people, and it's the truth. But if you use garlic and sage, you could rest assured you will attract them to the house. You will not get rid of them, you will attract them. And this is why most Wiccas or pagans or witches will advise you to do this, because they're trying to get you further into demonization, because that's their commission from Satan. And if they're a white witch and they don't believe that they work for Satan, they're just a moron. They don't even know what they're doing. Anyway, the next one is dreamcatchers. Right when I was first starting to become a Christian, I bought these when I was traveling across country. Little story for you real quick. I rented a vehicle, I was by myself, I drove across the country, went into the desert by myself, spent 2 weeks by myself, just finding myself. And I sure found myself. The demonization got 50 times worse. I was drugging the whole way. I was driving through different states, through different regions with different principalities. I was high the whole time. I was sleeping alone in isolation. And you better believe I was experiencing demonic presence. Not attacks while I was there, because I believe God was protecting me while I was on that trip for some reason. I don't know why, I just do. But I would wake up and feel like I was being strangled. I'd wake up in a sleep start, a hypnic jerk. I did videos on them. And I was buying little trinkets everywhere I went, little idols. This is before I even knew really about Christ. I was buying dreamcatchers, little pottery made with horse's hair from Native Americans. And one night I was in the Black Dragon Canyon. Go figure, Black Dragon Canyon, it's the canyon of the devil. The devil names a lot of things. I'm going to go into that in my video on Devil's Landmarks that I didn't do yet. But in the Black Dragon Canyon, it was the middle of the night, and I stopped at this little overlook because I was getting tired, and I was trying to find a place to sleep because I was driving too long. And when you drive on your own a long time, you get stuck sometimes, and sometimes you get in some hairy situations when you drive cross country by yourself. So I pulled into the Black Dragon Canyon, and there were two Indians there, just with no car or nothing, just standing there. And I almost thought it was a mirage, but it wasn't. It was real. And they're selling pottery and dream catchers and stuff. So I bought pottery from them, put it in the car, and took off. I paid them and left. They definitely put witchcraft on it, I know now. I know now how the Native Americans operate. That'll be another video. So anyway, I picked up pottery with witchcraft on it. And to make a long story short, when I went to Death Valley, which is another demonically named desert in California, I bought dreamcatchers. Then, on the way home in the airport, I bought little dreamcatcher earrings for my fiance at the time. Or no, we weren't engaged yet at that time. I bought that for her, and I bought a little container to hold my memory cards from all the pictures I took. You guys are going to see some of them in my video on Devil's Landmarks. I put those memory cards in this little container with like a crocodile on it. So when I got home, I took all this stuff and I put it up on my mantle. Then when I found Christ, I was learning about these things, and I looked through them one by one, and they were all occultic. Every single thing I bought had images of Satan on it. Now, this is for two reasons. One reason is it's planned out this way, that you buy these occultic images when you travel, and that you take demons home with you from different regions and different principalities, so they could get out of their territory legally. Number two, when you're not of Christ, you have demons in you making you like these items. So when you see a dream catcher, there's a demon in you saying, yeah, you like that. That's cool, get that. And that demon's part of you, and it has a lot of effect over your train of thought. And I had major demonic attacks from collecting all these occultic items. The attacks got 50 times worse, everybody. So now you know, a dream catcher, I think that was further down my list. Don't buy them. Don't buy anything from Native Americans. They're not Christian. Everything they make is of the devil. They believe in animal spirits. They believe in elemental spirits. They're Satan worshippers. You could call it what you want. If you're not a Christian and you practice powers and spirits and this stuff, you're operating with demonic spirits. If you're one of these people and you make an item, that item has a demon in it. It was made by the hands of the devil, because the devil controls everyone that is not of Christ. Okay? So stay away from this stuff, guys, all right? The next one is throwing a coin in a wishing well or a fountain and making a wish. This is basically offering something onto an idol. You've taken something, you've thrown it into a wishing well, and you've offered it to a demon god. And I believe by all these wishing wells, there's a line of demons that get in order, and each person that throws a coin in, the demon goes and enters that person, because you've asked for it through superstition. Now, back in the day, people used to believe that demons lived in or not demons, but gods, which are demons, we know that. Other gods lived in wells, lived in rivers, and that the god was providing them the spring of water, or that they were thanking the god for the plentiful fish in there or whatever. And they would offer things onto these gods so they would get more of what they need from what they believed came from these gods. So this is how this all started, throwing pennies into a well and all this stuff. Basically, it's demonic, like everything else that's not of Christ, and don't do it. Don't teach your kids to do it. Teach your kids to follow Christ. You know, it's amazing how many people I know in my life that were very close to me and in other families I know that sure as heck knew how to teach their kids how to throw pennies into fountains and be superstitious and all these things, but not one taught their kids how to follow Jesus Christ. Doesn't anybody see something wrong with this? And if you're a Roman Catholic, don't think you did a good job teaching your kid about Jesus Christ. I don't care if you're the best Roman Catholic in the church. I've been through so many conversations about this since I became a Christian. Roman Catholics who are appalled that I think that their faith is no good, those are the ones in the biggest trouble. Those are the ones in the absolute biggest trouble, because you can't really be of Christ and have a headship under a satanic church. It's impossible. You could think what you want, you could think you could stay there and you'll be okay, and that people could tell you the truth and you'll make excuses for it. But I guarantee you, if you make excuses for it, you will see hellfire. I guarantee you, if you want to stay under the headship of Satan. Anyway, don't throw coins in a wishing well, alright? Alright, the next one, something I did as a kid, breaking a wishbone. Breaking a wishbone, or anything with wishes or giving a bone a power, is witchcraft. Don't do it. I don't really need to say much more about it. Anytime you do it, both people that do it could get demons. I guarantee you are. Guys, I believe demons come in like very, very easily. They could come in if you're a sinner. I believe many people have hundreds of demons, thousands of demons. It's very possible, and it's biblical. You could have a legion in you. That's 6,000 to 10,000 is what the dictionary says. Some say 10,000, so they all say different things. So don't think that every little act you can't pick up a demon. This is why when you walk righteous in Christ, you feel better and better and better, because while you're getting your deliverance, you're not picking up new ones. This is why you can't follow Christ and Satan at the same time, because you'd be getting demons while you're getting rid of them and you're going nowhere. This is a spiritual event, following Christ. This is not some religion. You have spiritual power when you follow Christ. Go back to my video on the kingdom of Jesus' power if you want to hear about that. The next one, evil eye bracelets for protection. This made me laugh. My fiance had one. Imagine wearing the eye of Lucifer to protect you from Lucifer. Enough said, guys. If you're wearing the eye, you have the spirit of Antichrist in you. You have a demon in you. You have the demon of Lucifer in you. You might have an all-seeing eye demon or something. There's a million demons, guys. The next one is lions outside the house, or idols outside the house. You know how many Medusas and statues of Mary and images of a sun and statues of the two lions at the heads of the driveways in New Jersey you see? When you got those two lions on the head of your house is owned by the devil. No two ways about it. And you'll never have the peace you would know to have with Christ. And I know there's some people watching this saying, I have those lions in front of my house, I'm okay. Well, you never know how not okay you are until you really get the peace of Jesus. And you're born again walking on a cloud. Then you look at your old life as it was a throwaway piece of garbage. In fact, I don't even think the term born again is the proper term for it. It should just be called born for the first time. Because you're not even alive until you meet Jesus Christ. You just don't know it yet. Anyway, here's a good one. This one is almost every girl's dream, catching the bouquet at a wedding. Okay, if you catch this bouquet, I guarantee you'll have nothing but bad luck. Catch that bouquet, a demon's controlling you after that when it comes to your marriages. So you better not go to catch it. You better not give it a supernatural power. Guys, in case you haven't realized, this is all about not giving physical items supernatural power. It's idolatry. It's the most hated sin of God there is, other than unbelief in His Son. And pride is up there too. The three sins I believe God hates the most, and I believe it's semi-biblical, but I just feel it in my spirit, is pride, idolatry, and unbelief are the worst sins. The worst. I used to have them all. Most people that don't have Christ have them all. Because once you're not of Christ, you're just going to get mowed down by the devil, and he's going to put everything he can in you. Okay. This is the last one I wrote down. And there's many more than this, guys, like walking under ladders, breaking mirrors, clovers. All of it's bad. It's all bad. Mistletoes, it's all bad. Don't do it. But this is the last one I want to talk about. Keeping a loved one's ashes in the house, okay? This is real bad, guys. Number one, cremation is not of God. God, not one good person in the Bible got cremated, therefore that idea came from the devil. In fact, the only time they spoke of people that didn't get buried properly was Jezebel getting spread out to dogs, and I think some other people getting burnt, or their bones getting burnt. I really don't remember the exact situation right now, but it was in the Old Testament, I know that. And I know that every time someone didn't get buried in a tomb or in the ground, getting buried in a tomb counts as burial. If you save the body and you put the body in, you respect the body and put it away in a containment or in the ground, you've buried it. Jesus was buried in a tomb, and the other people were spoken of in the Bible were buried in the ground. Okay? Now, cremation alone is bad news, okay? But aside from that, to take the ashes of the dead loved one and put it in your house is even worse. Because an urn, I believe, holds a demon if it has ashes in it. And you're giving that a power. I don't care who you are and if you have a dead one in your house. If you're going to tell me that those ashes sit on your mantle and that doesn't have a power, a supernatural power in your heart, that could be the spirit of your loved one in some way, you're praying onto the dead. You're doing necromancy. It's in the Bible. You can't do it. You can't do it, guys. Just don't do it. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. These things are so stupid to a true man of God. They're foolishness to a true believer in Christ, these stupid things. And if you're obsessed with doing them, you better believe you're of the devil and you better find Jesus Christ. All right, guys? That'll do it on the superstitions. I think this is my last video of the day, guys. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Stay away from the devil and all the things of the devil. He is everywhere and his tricks are everywhere. And if you're a true Christian today, you're in the hardest times in the whole existence of the earth to be a Christian. And if you're a Christian in America, good luck. You're in the hardest country in the hardest time to be a Christian. But at least they're not killing us over here. There's just no root for us over here like there is in some other countries. But in the other countries, they're paying differently. They're getting assaulted and killed for being Christians, which I guess is just as bad. But what I'm saying is the society in America is the least acceptable for a Christian. It's heathenistic, it's Babylonian, and you're almost a complete, people look at you as a nutbag if you're a Christian. I've had people tell me that they're worried about my sanity, especially people in my family. And I'm worried about their salvation, so I guess we're even. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.